It appears I am all alone, so there's no point explaining anything. I'm just going to do stuff, and if anyone shows up, great. Alright, we're doing audio editing. I've done all the audio balancing. So this is going to be reverb initially and then music. I'm going to start by drawing labels around anything that needs weird things, so this is going to need to be muffled.
Pinkie?
It's as much as I can be bothered to explain, because there's no one here, so...
Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony might just be the most valuable thing in the whole world. I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost... But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless. I wouldn't trade you for the world. Rarity! Not you too!
Making your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy. Just an expression of how much you could afford. I wouldn't be me without you.
All day trying to literally make hubs worth... Be there for your friends. I'm so lucky to have you.
But you mean just as much to us as we do to you, Pinkie. We all finally saw just how upset you were. And what do you do for a best friend who's sad, full of worry? I've got your back, no matter what.
I'm just so happy we're friends.
We know, Sugar Cube.
I'm so happy we're friends.
I've got your back.
To attract a premium, but if we all agree to spread the cost between us, we should be okay when it comes to...
Pinkie! Pinkie!
Didn't we make that clear?
No?
Yeah. What's wrong with that headline you read, but with the ever.
Yay!
Come on, Pinkie. It is pretty ridiculous. You already drove...
Like it would be a very nice place to live at all. Guys are the best.
So late, Pinkie, but...
Rest. Good night, Pinkie.
Okay. Hello, Gotham. Alright, I've done the audio balancing, like the left-right thing. I did that myself offline earlier. I got home from work early today, so I did that. What I've just done is I've gone through all of this and I've picked out all the audio that's not standard, aka doesn't have normal reverb applied to it. Now I'm going to do normal reverb, and we'll come back to these in a minute. Right. What kind of reverb do we do? It's the same sort of thing that we did for Rarity's place. I think these are already the same settings.
Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and... Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and...
That sounds fine. Right, so what I'm going to do before I mess with this, let's just take a copy of this to have as a backup, just in case. Right. So now we apply the standard reverb to everything that needs it. should be all the normal stuff. Alright, let's do the echoey hug voices,
I'll always.
since they're also a standard set. Right. Can I remember? No. Let's get this. Moment. So I need that to be 50, this to be 50, this to be 40, 90, it's 4, it's 80, 60, 90.
I'll always be here for you.
Amazing.
I'll always be here for you.
And just get it right up to. Just make sure the tail of it is as long as it can. Right, filter curve. Is it just this?
I'll always be here for you.
We haven't used filter curve for anything else, have we? So the settings that it's got in there should just be what they're supposed to be. And I can't remember whether or not we do echo.
I'll always be here for you.
Sounds fine. And now reverb, filter curve, echo.
Made you for the world.
I wouldn't be
Okay. Now with those, they're okay. I've done the audio balancing, so I'm straight into audio editing with this. Filter. And
I'm so lucky.
make sure we select as long a tail as we can. We're going to do filter curve. And
I'm so lucky to have you.
mine's gone blank. Reverb. Fuck it. I'll get into the swing of things in a moment. Right, this is.
I'm just.
Pinkie needs to be muffled for that. She will require something different later. This is Twilight shouting. Let's see if I want to do anything different for that. And that should be all of those done.
So happy we're friends.
So we don't need that.
I'm just so.
Do need that.
I've got
So lucky. I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't trade.
I'll always.
So, I think maybe I can use the same sort of settings that I'll do here, as for his muffled speech later. So this is Twilight speaking from a distance away from another room. So, reverb. We probably want a fair bit of it.
Pinkie?
But then we also want to filter curve it. And basically cut out all of the high. I think that's how you do muffled.
Pinkie?
Maybe not quite that aggressive.
Pinkie?
I don't... I've just changed my mind about the reverb. I don't really like it. It sounds like it's got too much of a tail, I guess. Like it carries on for too long.
Pinkie? Pinkie?
That sounds bad. Alright, let's try the filter curve again.
Pinkie?
More? Less?
Pinkie?
I think we'll also want to reduce its volume.
Pinkie?
Is that right? What other things can we do?
Pinkie?
Maybe even quieter.
Pinkie? Pinkie? Pinkie?
I think that's okay. Unless anyone can come up with any amazing suggestions to make it better. And I'm just gonna put my filter curve back. Because I know that I'll need to use it again later, I'm sure. And forget that I've changed the settings and end up fucking up. Right, this one. I'm just so happy with friends.
I'm just so happy we're friends.
So there shouldn't really be any reverb here. Pinkie is speaking into a mass of fur, basically. She's got her face buried in her friends. So her voice shouldn't really be escaping. So I think all I really need to do is maybe do the same sort of cut again and then just make it quieter.
I'm just so happy we're friends.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
I'm just so happy we're friends.
Yeah. Don't know what else I would need to do. And I think that leaves just Twilight's shout. So what I want to, I think, try is reverb, but...
Pinkie! 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 Pinkie!
Am I missing?
Comes Pinkie! Pinkie!
Let's try this though.
Between us, we should be okay when it comes to Pinkie! It's not happening! It's not happening! It comes to Pinkie! It's not happening!
Honestly, it doesn't really sound that much different from the reverb around it.
Pinkie!
That's definitely too much.
Pinkie!
I think that also sounds a bit too much. And that's only one tick higher than where we started from.
Pinkie!
This might be a bit extreme, but what if I put some alcohol?
Be okay when it comes to Pinkie! It's not happening! Which is bound to attract a premium, but if we all agree to spread the cost between us, we should be okay when it comes to Pinkie! It's not happening!
Slight volume increase.
Between us, we should be okay when it comes to Pinkie! It's not happening!
Didn't we make that clear?
No?
Right, and I think that sorts us out with reverb. Right, final thing to do for now then will be to listen through all of this and tidy up all the rough edges. Like all the rogue breaths and scratchy bits. We should have only this channel.
Pinkie?
Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we've finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I reckon it hit.
Do you hear that? Just before she starts speaking?
I
Sounds like a tiny little pluck of a banjo string. Right. You hear that, right? Does that come across on the stream? Very appropriate, but not quite what we want.
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie.
You can't hear it? Do you hear it now? Does my banjo twang analogy make sense?
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when...
Breath is appropriate, but it sounds very rough. I'm gonna cut that out.
Me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times...
But we also lose the tail end of the reverb if we do.
Pinkie Pie.
Can I see where the breath actually sort of is?
Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments...
It's the same sort of thing.
when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony might just be the most valuable thing in the whole world.
So definitely stuff like that. Just breaths that don't need to be there. Especially ones that sound rough like that.
Most valuable thing in the whole world. I'll always be here for you. I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being.
There's definitely going to need to be some volume adjustment on here. Rary speaks quite loud here. Or at least I perceive her as quite loud.
Specialness away. A hug goes from being a freeness away.
You're just little ticks like that. You can ruin things, make them sound so unnatural.
A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless. I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Rarity! Not you too! Making your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy. Can't buy. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore, just an expression of how much you could afford. I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hugs worth less. Yes. Worth less. Spending all day with this idea in your head, all you could in your head, all you could think about was how many bits it might cost you just to do what you've always done. Be there for your friends. I'm so lucky to have you. But I'm so lucky to have you. But you mean just as much to us as we do to you, Pinkie. We all find to you, Pinkie. We all finally Pinkie. We all finally saw just how upset you were. And what do you do for a best friend who's sad, full of worry, and full And what do you do for a best friend who's sad, full of worry, best best friend who's sad, full of worry, and wondering why the world's turned mean and nasty?
Sassy? Well, they need hugs. I've got your back, no matter what.
Hello, Costa.
Hmm? I'm just so happy we're friends.
We know, Sugar Cube.
You've been telling
Cube. No, Sugar Cube.
You've been telling us all day. All day.
I'm so happy we're friends.
I've got your back, no matter what.
Okay, now that was a 6-pony group hug, which is bound to attract a premium. But if we all agree to spread the cost between us, we should be okay when it comes to
Pinkie! It's not happening! Didn't we make that clear?
No?
Yeah, maybe we should have led with that.
Pinkie, I don't know what was wrong with that headline you read. Pinkie, I don't Pinkie, I don't know. Pinkie, I don't know what was wrong with that headline you read. Pinkie, I don't know what Pinkie, I don't know what was wrong with that headline you read, but with the assurance of Princesses Celestia and Luna, I can absolutely guarantee that you will never have to pay out bits to either give or receive any hug ever.
I don't think we need that many breaths.
Hug.
Bits to either give or receive any hug ever.
Or...
Or fill out a form. Out a form.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Come on, Pinkie. It is pretty ridiculous. Come on, Pinkie. It is pretty ridiculous. You already drove yourself round the bend trying to figure out how it would work. It makes 0 sense.
Hello. Just tidying up the vocals. That's what's happening right now.
It makes 0 sense.
As concepts go,
It makes...
I think we want none of it.
as concepts go, it is pretty flimsy.
Indeed. Can you really imagine a world where ponies would be willing to pay money to simply procure a physical act of love?
That doesn't sound like it would be a very nice place to live at all.
I'm just glad it's over. It is over, right? Over, right? Right?
It's over. You guys are the best.
We're not hugging again, are we? 'Cause I feel like we've kinda done that to death today.
You know what? After hugging my way through all of Ponyville, I'm good. Through all of Ponyville, I'm good.
And pretty beat too, I wager. Might have been a mistake. Wager. And pretty beat too, I wager. Might have been a mistake calling on you so late, Pinkie, but we were worried. Pinkie, but we were worried. We couldn't bear the thought of you carrying on like that 1 minute longer than you had to.
But Applejack's right. Every pony needs their beauty sleep, and we should sleep, and we should probably let you get some rest.
Good night, Pinkie. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's a weird little something right at the start of this. Yeah, that. And then just try and smooth it a bit. There we go, much better. And there should be nothing else there. Excellent. Right. Should be all the rough edges sanded down. Right, now for my least favorite music. Do the easy bit first. That is ambient. We already know what we're going to do for that. I'm going to use exactly the same thing that I did for Rarity Scene. Just a general bit of background hum. Just going to need to take a few copies of it so I can get going on. Seamlessly, and should be nice and quiet. Quieter.
Pinkie? Pinkie, we came to talk to you.
They're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony might just be.
If only the rest of that music was as easy as that was. Right. To the music folder. Let's get this shit done. If I can get all of the music done by the end of today, I think I'll... Maybe even audio balancing as well. Volume balancing, that is. Right. So reminding ourselves of what's happening. We're going to fade into this scene. We'll be slowly zooming in on Pinkie. It's going to be sad. Sad. There's going to be a moment of, I don't know, something, realization when the lights turn on. Is there going to need to be a little musical clip when Twilight calls out to Pinkie? I don't know. We'll see what the music does. I think I'm just going to listen to some sad musical clips, and I don't really have a plan for this. What the right way to do this is. So let's just listen to some samples and see if anything catches my eye. Or ear, rather, I guess. Really want to avoid anything with reverb in the background as much as we can. Could work well for the introduction, like the start. Also want to try and avoid anything with too much nature sounds in the background. We're indoors. Hmm. No. 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 Right. It's these background effects that are really going to kill me right now. We're indoors, it's the dead of night, there really shouldn't be that much background. But most of these music clips do have that in there, and I can't easily get rid of it. Maybe if I get rid of the starting bit here, it's a bit too... But the little dun at the end, whatever you call that, could work for Twilight Queen. No. Hmm. No. No. Don't really like the whatever the hell was going on at the end. No, it's too upbeat. Too much going on in the background. No. Too dramatic. Why did you have to mix the background effects and the music in the same track? This is starting to get a bit too long. Right, so I've got 3 6-second-ish clips. That's a lot of people. Right, so the one that sounded the most promising, I think, is this one.
Pinkie?
Can I time that? so that it does the thing. Well, then I leave a blank space back here. Don't know what to do.
Pinkie? Pinkie?
Might be better to do it with the knocking instead. Which puts it basically right back at the beginning again. Which might not necessarily be it. Okay. What about some of these others? Kind of like that as well. It's a little less interesting. So what if I bring these two together? Does this work in any way? I think I'll need a gap between these, but I could fade this out. Everything else is muted. It's not very helpful.
Pinkie?
Don't like there being a gap like that. If there is to be a gap, it should be.
Pinkie? Pinkie?
I don't think that really works here. So as an opener, I prefer this one. So I think I need to find something different just to cover the knots. With sort of inquisitive sound like, oh, what's that doing? Okay. Do I have? I don't think I looked at the really short sounds. If that didn't have all the wind in the background, see if I can do anything. It does. Maybe that could go after Pinkie. Is that at all possible? Yes, we'll get rid of this. So,
Pinkie?
there is no isolated windows. Don't think I can clean this up sufficiently. Need to be happy to use it. That sucks. Right. I'm gonna struggle. This is probably going to be one of the most annoying ones, yeah. Do I anticipate using this for anything? No, that's an opening thing. I've already got some.
Pinkie?
Mm,
Pinkie?
I don't think this really fits either.
Pinkie?
No. If anything, we want this to be slightly. Your friends are coming to bring her up. Hmm. It's not really any good sad music clips, right? Maybe this. Don't think I can. Shoot.
Pinkie?
Tell me this is all over the phone.
Pinkie?
It can work, maybe. Don't really have any other better options right now.
Pinkie?
I'm still not a fan of having just a period of silence here. I don't know what else to do.
Pink.
I think this still needs to be quiet.
Pinkie?
Maybe Twilight's corner needs to be louder as well.
Pinkie?
I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. What else could I do? Don't suppose any of the questioning tones work. We've got any low energy versions of those. The little harp thing. Is there anywhere that can go?
Pinkie?
Maybe if I type it, can go over the door. Okay.
Pinkie?
It's okay.
Pinkie?
So it's about 14 seconds in the change. So we're still in the same view for this line. Does something need to go here? And if so, what?
Pinkie?
Hmm. I think maybe we can get away with using nothing here. It might even be appropriate to try and just use fewer musical clips in general. In a similar way that I did with the rainbow scene that takes place at night. Would also be a good strategy, because there's not very many good sad musical clips, strangely. Ponies don't get sad very often. How inconsiderate of them. Right. So I think I'll leave this blank. I think we should have a little something for Twilight walking in. So 18.5 seconds to 14. And 13.5 to 14.5, basically. So from about here to, I said 18.5, right? Yeah. So about there. 5 seconds or so of something. I don't know. Something that's tentatively hopeful. But I don't really have a music tag for that, so I think I'm just gonna have to look through the clips that are about the right length and see if anything appears to fit. Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be a happy thing. Anxious isn't gonna be it either. If not for the background music, that's probably along the right lines. Background music, the fucking effects. They're going to be quite limited in options here. The majority of my music is either dramatic, anxious, or happy. There's, like, the rest are all niche sort of things. You could have photo finish. I mean, maybe not. Maybe. It's right. Maybe that previous one if it were quieter. maybe? Anything else like that? Mm. Don't think I'm gonna get too many other options. Already got that. I think these two that I've got down here are the best I'm gonna get for this little bit. So let's just go with these. All of these are supposed to be here, and they do overlap in such a way that they need 3 layers. Okay. Let's decide which of these fits best.
Pinkie?
So they need to start about here. This probably won't work. I'll try it anyway. Right, so unwanted background effects are going to be part and parcel of that one, should I choose to use it. Can't really do anything about it. What of you?
Pinkie?
Never mind. That just so happens to be the exact same one that I used just a moment ago. So I think that means it's this or nothing.
Pinkie? Pinkie?
Just gonna have to live with the fact that there's background in it. Okay.
Pinkie? Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and
Can I make that ding coincide with Pinkie? I mean, I can, but does that leave too much overhang back here?
Pinkie,
It would be nice if I could, but I don't know what the effect is going to be. Moment. Why do those first three notes make you think of The Simpsons? I don't know. I haven't watched Simpsons in ages. So which music clip was it? I have no idea. I have some. What's that one? Just want to see.
Pinkie? Pinkie?
Okay, it can be made to work. Nice.
Pink.
Okay. We would start just before 14. Let's see. Back to about here.
Pinkie? We came to talk to you.
So, some kind of explanation for this. Not a happy, not an anxious, not a dramatic. Though a lot of the sad ones don't really fit so far, so let's just see what we get. Nope. No. No. Maybe?
Pinkie? We came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
If it's literally the only option available, maybe. And I really hope there's something better. No.
Came to talk.
Isn't that what I already used? Minus the little bit at the start. Maybe I had it on a shortlist for something at some point. But it's not in there right now, so it's fair game. Yeah, it's always fucking perfect. Though there is an isolated little bit at the end, though, so maybe I can do something.
Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
Maybe? Hmm. Okay, I think that's about all of my options. So let's give them a try.
Pinkie? Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack? We came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset.
So I'm pretty sure I earmarked that as an option of last resort. What else?
Came to talk to you. We came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
That's better. Still.
Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I think this really just washes out too much of the music. And it doesn't do anything about the birds either. If anything, it just makes them more obvious.
Pinkie? Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
Voices generally seem just too loud. At least to me. Right. This is the current lead candidate. How does it compare to this one?
Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
This initial bit just seems a bit too high energy. This is not a high energy scene. At least it won't be until Rainbow gets involved. So I think that leaves you as the winner. So altogether, we now have
Pinkie? Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie.
I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm just going to turn the volume down on all of the vocals by about 5. I don't know if it's just my headphones or something, because you definitely get a different experience, like an audio experience, when you're listening with headphones versus just playing out loud on your speakers. Sometimes, even when you're using good equipment, it can skew your perception of how things actually will sound when played to an actual audience. It's an annoying thing about audio editing. You never quite know what it's going to sound like, even though you're the one who edited the fucking thing.
Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
So, do we need a little thing here? Remind me how the scene changes here. So she gestures to Applejack, and then we do a hard cut to a wide shot, which will be around here. When it loads. Yeah. So 29.5, we do a hard cut. And Applejack just walks into it. So if we are to do a little something, it would need to fit in this sort of gap here.
We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I could try and find a long clip that fits in. It just so happens to go back that way.
In the whole world.
Alright, I'm going to be maybe a bit ambitious and see if I can find something that just fits through all of this. So, 21 seconds of some kind of low energy exploration. Not anxious, not dramatic, not really happy either, just hopeful. Because it starts sort of sad, but then Applejack says you made me realise that hugs fix the sadness. So, I don't know what I fucking mean. Half the time I have no idea. Banjo is appropriate, but not like that. Let's try and maybe break some expectations here and see if we can do something that doesn't involve a banjo. I don't think that's really going to fit. Sounds alright.
I reckon.
Can I make it just happen back here? Let's see how well this fits.
So upset. Applejack?
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony might just be the most valuable thing in the whole world.
Kind of cuts off abruptly, which is unfortunate. Though maybe it's appropriate to have a little something different to end it with.
Might just be the most valuable thing in the whole world.
And then a little something as she walks over and...
I'll always be here for you.
So this needs to be going up, becoming hopeful, slightly happy, but then suddenly...
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the
So I'll take that for now. And we'll see what else we got. Mm. Definitely not that stuff at the end, but I don't know, I got that music and I kind of thought of Rarity. Would that happen to fit over here?
For you.
wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the
So,
it's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away.
this is going to be difficult, because Rarity just interrupts Pinkie. That's going to be a hard thing to do. Seems like I've picked the hardest scene to do last. Rarity? Like, the sort of way that it picks up.
It's gonna cost. But the
Yeah. Let's try it.
it's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
It's not bad. I'll put it in here. In roughly. Loop it a bit. I mean, it's long enough to cover all of Rarity's little speech, so...
I reckon.
Well,
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But
so start about here.
I'll always be here for you.
wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
It was almost a bit too upbeat. And the sort of, yeah, as you say, I think the thing, This isn't ideal. But in lieu of any other better option, it's not a deal breaker. I'll leave it there for now. Because we're not actually doing rarity yet. That's the sort of thing that you play at the end after Pinkie's accepted. What about the ding sound in Loop It Up? Which ding sound? This?
Priceless becomes worthless.
Because I think it kind of fits, though.
Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
You just need to add some other little sad little jingle at the end. No end ones?
From being a freely given heart.
Can I do that? How difficult would that be?
It's gonna cost, but the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another
So, something like this?
value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression.
It would need some finessing and some finagling to loop properly. But maybe. We'll come back to it when we're actually doing it. There's very few good options, which means I'm almost certainly going to have to end up making some kind of compromise. wrong kind of anti-champions. It's too upbeat. Like, we're not that happy yet. We can be happy once Pinkie's finally snapped out of it. Not yet. It's a dear Princess Celestia intro. If I had more time, maybe I should have added a little Pinkie voiceover where she can do a Dear Princess Celestia just before the final epilogue. Almost certainly too late to add that. Would have been nice. Shame I'm only having that idea right now.
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony.
I think this might be it. Like, these are all my options, pretty much. If anything, surely it's this one. Maybe without the eagle screech at the end.
Applejack?
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony might just be the most valuable thing in the whole world. I'll always be here for you.
Stupid. I'm gonna go. Alright. Right.
Figured out why.
Right, eagle. Can I get ready? Yeah. Well, if it's going to be anyone, surely it would be this. So this is a clip from Appaloosa something something. The one where they go and fight with the buffalo. I never really remember the episode names very well. I remember them by descriptions of what happens. It's the one with Bloomberg.
Once truly priceless.
Oh, wait, this is the wrong place.
Think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I reckon.
We want to blend these, I think.
Think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I reckon.
Yeah, flex on me a bit harder, why don't you? Yes, it's over about.
And we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony might just be the most valuable thing in the whole world. I'll always be here for you.
Right, leave it blank, or try and find something to fit here. Bearing in mind it needs to be something that abruptly cuts off, so that
But
this.
the moment in actual
So that can happen.
I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD.
Okay. I'm happy enough with that. I think I want to play with the volume a little bit later. So let's see if we can find some other rarity stuff to go here.
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an
So we start here, like that, and then it goes on for about here.
becomes worthless.
Yeah.
Actual value gets. It's gonna cost. But
So we're looking for something that's, again, about 22 seconds long, of a somewhat sad but sort of hopeful tone. I've already gone through all of those in search of Applejack's one. I didn't really find anything good. So I'm doubtful I'll find anything much better. Alright, let's see if, per Gothic suggestion, I can make this loop. So we'd be looking for something probably like this. Does that work? Not really. Maybe here? No. Here? It's hard to judge where exactly the cut point is here. If there even is one. I don't think these two bits were designed to loop, so trying to force them to maybe it falls out. It's not horrible, but it's clearly not right. No. Okay. If I am to use this, I think I am just going to have to accept it as is and live with this unfortunate gap. But I doubt I'm going to find anything better. Let's just remind ourselves of that. And then we'll go see if we can find something better.
For you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
Again, I don't hate it. But I'm sure there's something else that fits better. Doesn't sound very Rarity-esque, but the way that it flows might just so happen to line up with the speech.
Hey, Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
Doesn't really line up very well. Hmm. Again, that sounds more like the happy music that you play at the end after everything's been sorted out. I was thinking maybe the sad violins could work sort of for Rarity, but then the second half kind of isn't what we want. No. It needs to jump right into it. It needs to be a fairly sudden start, because, again, we're interrupting Pinkie, we're cutting her straight off. There's no slow build, it's straight in. Most of these clips don't really do that. Certainly not the happy ones. Maybe not. I think that's a little too iconic. That's the one we've already got. Let's switch gears real quick. Again, that's the sort of thing that you would play at the end, when all's sorted out. Nope. I kind of like how that started, but then it kind of dropped off. It doesn't sound like the sort of... well, it doesn't sound like Rarity music. Like, I have a very narrow scope here, which means I'm going to find very few suitable candidates. So, definitely not that second half. First bit, maybe.
I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
Obviously, I need to find something else, but so far, that's the only clip aside from that one that's been even remotely workable, so warrants a maybe.
Whole world. I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
Similar sort of deal to the previous one. The start is alright, and maybe usable. The rest, no. Feeling that?
what ponies...
Alright, I think I'm pretty much at the end of what could be useful. So what I maybe want to try is maybe this bit could go at the end of one of these. That's what I'm thinking.
Stop! It's gonna cost... But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all...
I think I want to keep the second half of this because I like kind of how it lines up at the end. But this is too long to make that happen, and this looks maybe too short.
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost... But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just... Cost... But the moment an actual value gest put on that...
First of all, that's too loud.
Cost... But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
I don't know. Right, these don't transition well into this. These on their own are too short.
Jack, stop! It's gonna cost... But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something...
Okay. New strategy then. I'm going to try and do this in parts. I'm going to scroll back and find some shorter clips, ones that might fit just this bit, the initial interruption.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end
through to here.
in the minds of all involved.
Some kind of ending for transaction of all involved, and then a separate sad thing.
Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
So that's going to be about 15 seconds for the first thing. I just don't have any other better ideas for ways to approach this. I mean, this is a sort of rarity track, but I don't think it'll quite fit.
Jack, stop! It's gonna cost... But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something... Minds of all involved. Just another transaction. Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost... But the moment...
I think one of the things that are even smaller than that. These ones I'm looking at are not too long.
actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love.
It's not an instant yes. I decided I don't want to be yours.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another.
Sorry. What's this? Something I don't need. Any other candidates to step? It's a bit too happy. A bit too upbeat. It's definitely sort of rarity-like music.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction.
It's pretty good, I think. Alright. 3 decent candidates, I think.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on. Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away.
Let me get these.
You end up taking that specialness away. You end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, from being a freely given, an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away.
Really like the dun 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 taking specials. But if I want this to line up, I have to sacrifice that.
freely given put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another
Okay, I think I can safely. Yeah.
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love.
I don't think any of these stand head and shoulders above the rest. They're all strong in their own regard.
Be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love.
Gonna cost.
But the moment an actual
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
This compromises slightly on how easily we can transition into the next bit. And I'm pretty sure I've used this at some point before. I definitely haven't used this one. I think I'm new to this. Though it's it's a hard choice.
Hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
So some kind of dismiss, but we've got the second bit to this as well.
Just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless become
I think truly priceless becomes worthless.
just another transaction in the minds of all involved. To just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
So some kind of sad thing that's 5 seconds long that sounds like a... That's the goal now. I suppose that fits.
Put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
It's not terrible, but it's not great either. What else? It's something I'm sure we've already used back at the start. In fact, I think that's the exact thing that we opened with. And the rest of these are getting a bit too long. So maybe this here is pretty much my only good thing.
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. So
I mean, I'm happy. There is no perfect solution. This is going to be a real slog of music, I think. Hardest one so far. But there just really aren't that many lower energy sad sort of clips. Ponies don't get sad very often.
it's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
Some kind of ready to accept it. Albeit somewhat begrudgingly. But
Pinkie? Pinkie, we came to talk to you. We all talked, and we think we finally figured out why you're so upset. Applejack?
I reckon it hit home what you said to me earlier, Pinkie Pie. That there's times in ponies' lives when they're feeling pretty rotten. And in those moments, when it gets real dark and lonely, I reckon the right hug at the right time from the right pony might just be the most valuable thing in the whole world. I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved.
the open question still on my mind right now is, do we want to put anything here?
I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment
Some kind of anxious thing that is interrupting. I mean, either one of those, maybe. Let's have a quick play around.
I'll always be here for you.
Wait!
Always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an stop! It's gonna cost. But stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug,
Always be here for you.
wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost. But the moment an actual
Always be here for you.
wait!
Always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop!
Be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
Be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
But the moment in actual...
Maybe the other way around?
Always be here for you. Always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
But the moment in actual...
Always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna...
Always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
Always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
But the moment an actual value...
I don't think this.
It's gonna cost...
But the moment...
I don't think these transition well into each other. This is okay. I'll just drop this.
For you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
But the moment an actual...
That's okay.
Just be the most valuable thing in the whole world. I'll always be here for you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD.
Okay. Alright, what's next?
Another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
So, between 6 and 8 seconds of some kind of sad thing.
To just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless. To just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
It's okay.
expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless. Love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
Slight preference to the second one, I think.
Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost.
But the moment an actual value gets put on that hug, you end up taking that specialness away. A hug goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless.
Right, happy enough. So Rarity moves in to join in the big hug.
Becomes worthless. I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Rarity! Not you too!
So some kind of happy music as Rarity joins in. Ideally some kind of happy that turns into anxious, but it's going to be a bit harder to do. Let's have a look.
I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Rarity!
Could go for just that bit, but leaves the part where Rarity's moving in to join silent.
I wouldn't be me.
Oh, that's twine. Yeah. Back here?
I'll always...
Nope. Here?
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Bit too dramatic. Likewise. I kind of like the harp. That's sort of a Rarity instrument.
I wouldn't trade you for the world.
But again, it's short, so I don't think the harp one and the other one would transition well into each other. You'd have to have one or the other. I mean, on their own, neither one of those is a bad option, but together they don't really fit. Yeah, Nerf thread died yesterday? It's not unusual for it to take a day or two to come back. They probably don't want to make a new one until they've actually got something to announce, so the panel list or something. Don't really want the music to swell or anything. It's just a low-level sort of happy things are happening. Something like that, yeah. No, it'll probably fit. Though, to me that really sounds more like a Fluttershy. Oops, a Fluttershy sort of sound. You might want to save that for when Fluttershy joins. Like, you know, be there for your friend. Be there for your friends. Where is Fluttershy's line? Let's test it. I know I'm jumping ahead a bit here, but
Okay, now that was a 6 point.
no.
They need hugs. All finally saw just
Always done. Be there for your friends. I'm so lucky to have you. Be there for your friends. Be there for your friends. Be there for your friends. I'm so lucky.
Unfortunately, it does kind of cut in. It's the unfortunate reality of a lot of these clips.
You've always done. Be there for your friends. You've always done. Be there for your friends. I'm so lucky.
Again, it's not bad, but it's not a slam dunk, yes. Anyway, back to what I was actually doing.
becomes worthless. I wouldn't trade you for the world.
I like that. I think I can just put that in and be happy. Like, I'm instantly happy with a music clip for once. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Rarity! Not you too!
Expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless. I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Rarity! Not you too!
So, anxious for Pinkie.
Not you too!
Making your friends happy.
So, Pinkie doesn't get interrupted this time. So we don't have that constraint. So 4 or 5 seconds of sort of drawn out anxious. Rarity, not you too. So we're not looking for dramatic anxious, we're looking for nervous, raising tension. Things are getting ever so slightly worse. Maybe.
Trade you for the world.
Rarity! Not you too!
Making your friends
None of these really fit the vibe, so I think I'll just go with the first one.
For the world.
Rarity!
For the world.
Rarity! Not you too!
World.
Rarity! Not you too!
making
World.
Rarity! Not you too!
The world.
Rarity! Not you too!
making your friends happy is something that bits just making your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy.
Not sure what the tone of this is. Sort of comforting?
Making your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy. And how awful
Maybe? Right. It needs to be something that can turn into being sad, because the next one is Riot saying how awful it must have been. When you thought that all of a sudden happiness could only be bought with bits. No. I think this is really the only option. So.
making your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy.
For you.
Wait! Applejack, stop! It's gonna cost...
But the moment an actual value gets put on that HUD, you end up taking that specialness away. A HUD goes from being a freely given, heartfelt expression of love to just another transaction in the minds of all involved. Something that was once truly priceless becomes worthless. I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Rarity! Not you too!
Making your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy. And how awful it must have been.
I have a little bit of a sad thing here, is because Twilight comes in and, as if making a matter-of-fact statement, like, as if that's going to solve things, and then realizing, actually, no, I need to use my emotions rather than logic to solve this. I do kind of like this line, because it starts off with Twilight trying to be rational and then going, wait, no, I need to turn on the feelings for this one. Seems like a bit of a Twilight to do, especially early Twilight. Right, do I have any short sad quotes? Not really. The shortest ones that I have that are tagged as sad are 3 seconds long, so... Do I have a low energy realization sort of sound? None of these really fit. Like, I'm looking for something that corresponds to just that little switch being flipped to the back of your head, going, wait, no, I need to do something different here. And none of these fit. Low energy sound. That, but sad. I can't really onomatopoeia my ideal sound because I don't know what it sounds like. And I don't think I'm gonna find it. Okay. Maybe realization is the right. Maybe that bit was quite...
And how awful it must have been when...
It's closer, but I don't think that's quite right. Kind of needs to do the opposite, like start high and go low, then low to high, this one does. Is that right?
It's just can't buy. And how awful it...
I don't think so.
And how awful it must have been when you thought...
I think it's the closest so far, but I'm still not quite there with it. I don't, annoyingly, whenever I import something into Audacity, it zooms everything all the way out again. So I lose my place. Don't think that. I don't think I'm going to find what I'm looking for. Okay. I'll keep that other thing in reserve, but for now, I'll see if there are any sad clips that just so happen to maybe have something that will fit there. So.
And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of how much you could afford.
So should I try to do all of this in one segment? Probably segments, since sad clips, the longest sad clips I've had little to no luck with so far. So 6 to 8 seconds worth of being sad, I guess.
And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy.
Given how few sad clips there are, there's a serious possibility that I might end up just inadvertently reusing a whole bunch of them. I'm going to be careful to avoid doing that if I can.
Can't buy. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of how much you could afford.
Oops.
A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of how much you could afford.
And maybe not jumping for joy over it, but it's... So we're starting to get into the longer ones now. Ones that may be able to satisfy everything on their own.
Can't buy. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of how much you could afford.
Okay. Not bad. Why is it that I hate basically all of the sounds? Like, none of them seem to fit what I want.
And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore, just an expression of how much you could afford.
This one's okay, doesn't last quite long enough to cover everything, and there's quite a bit of noticeable twilight spike in the background. I don't know, they all just sound the same to me. I don't know, there seems to not be a huge amount of variance. Right. Now, what was this? There was a potential thing I could put. Yes. Let's a chance to change tag. Right.
And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't. Suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore, just an expression of how much you could afford. Bye. Bye. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore.
I'm not sure about this, but what's Twilight actually doing at this stage? She's looking neutrally, and it's only 31.5 that she changes pose. So, if we're doing that,
Your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us.
I think these transition very well to each other. Alright, let's try the other.
Hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of how much you could afford.
What about this?
It's just can't buy. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us. That only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of how much you could afford.
I think I'm alright with that. Let's just see if I can do something about the background in this. I don't think I can easily get rid of the buttons. Washes out too much of the music. It all washes out the music, really. It's a shame. Alright, just have to look at it then. Right, what about you? It does muffle the music a bit, but not catastrophically, so I think it's okay. Right. I don't think I need to do anymore.
Priceless becomes worthless. I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Rarity! Not you too! Making your friends happy is something that bits just can't buy. And how awful it must have been when you thought that suddenly, that was something that only bits could buy. A hug wouldn't be an expression of how much you cared about us anymore. Just an expression of how much you could afford. I wouldn't be me without you. I wouldn't be me.
Some kind of happy thing to go. Four or 5 seconds.
I wouldn't be me with.
Mhm.
Expression of how much you could afford. I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
I think the first one's the only one that really fits. All the others are just too jovial, I guess. Just too much.
I wouldn't be me without you. I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
You.
No! Get away!
So you.
Interesting.
Without you.
No! Get away!
So. Me without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent.
Mhm. Not even halfway yet. I might need 2 days first. Mm.
I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
Be me without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent. I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
So you. I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
Yeah. We'll do that.
I wouldn't be me without. I wouldn't be me without you.
No!
I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent all day.
Bringing in Fluttershy might be a bit difficult, since she starts talking pretty quickly.
Without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent all day. I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent all day.
You know what, I might actually want a shorter one. You know, inside with Fluttershy jumping in so quickly.
Me without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent.
Mm.
Wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent all.
Do that. It's just something that's a bit shorter.
Without you.
No! Get away!
So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less.
So we start a bit jovial, a bit upbeat. It's a little joke. You're making hugs worthless. Fluttershy stays fairly positive throughout the whole thing. I mean, she's describing a bad thing, which the tone of her voice, well, it sounds kind, funnily enough. I don't know if happy is something I should be looking for. But it's not really a happy line, is it? This might be another tricky one. Maybe just some kind of explanation. No, I need something that's a bit, well, slightly jovial. So, something that sounds like it could have a mild joke attached to it, you know? But still not outright comedic. Fluttershy's making a little joke. She's not putting on a clown outfit.
Day with this idea in your head. All you could think about was how many bits it might cost you just to do what you've always done.
No! Get away!
So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spending all day.
Rarity shouting about 20 carats or something kind of ruins that one. It might be about time for me to go and do some more music clips. I mean, I've got, what, 5 or 6 seasons worth here? That's still not enough. No. Feeling like explanation isn't the right time to be going through.
So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less.
But if not that, then what?
So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less.
That's so far, but I'm still not happy about what I'm still doing. No, I considered that one earlier. Don't think it fits here though. Nothing. Nothing.
So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less.
Hmm.
Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less.
Maybe. Still not found the one.
Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spending all...
Hmm.
Oh, get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spending...
Again, it's a maybe. Why is this one so difficult? This doesn't seem like the sort of thing that should be hard to find. Like, slightly happy with a bit of a comedic tone. That's what we need. That's just a tinsy bit too happy. I think that's a bit too fast.
Friends. I'm so lucky to have you.
Somehow managed to get over here.
At you.
No! Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spending...
Maybe. I feel like I'm clutching at straws a bit.
I wouldn't be me without you.
No! Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spend
It doesn't have that happy tone that I'm looking for.
Me without you.
No! Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spending
Best so far. But still, I'd like it to be a bit happier if we can. I've spelled long enough on it. Just do this one. The one that I kind of liked. I'm bored now. Just want to keep going.
Be me without you.
No! Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spending
Me without you.
No! Get away! So you spent all day trying to literally make hubs worth less. Spending all day with this idea in your head, all you could think about was how many bits it might cost you just to do what you've always done. Be there for your friends. I'm so lucky to have you.
What's the vibe of this?
Spending all day with this idea in your head, all you could think about was how many bits it might cost you just to do what you've always done.
Not sad. Not happy. Compassion? What the text for that? I think the angels or whatever you've got in the background probably aren't going to fit well with anything.
Really make hubs worth less. Spending all day with this idea in your head, all you could think about was how many bits it might cost you just to do what you've always done. Be there for your friends.
It's not bad. Though, maybe the angels would... Well, Fluttershy... Fluttershy angels, kinda. Just wondering if the angels would be more akin to rainbows, since her changing her attitude like she has is kind of a miracle unto itself. Hmm. It's more of a rarity kind of harpsichord thing. It's a bit too much. Needs to stay in the background, this music. Music is not here to take center stage at this point. Hmm. Still haven't found anything better than the angels, though. You thread within an hour. Okay. Does that mean there might be anything to announce, or just making a thread for the sake of having a thread? Huh. Interesting. I didn't know they used that music for anything other than the very, very first opening. But apparently that's 217. Schedule's public now. Oh. There was no announcement about that in the thread. Previous thread that I saw. Okay. Schedule. Oh yeah, there is indeed a schedule. So, opening ceremony, merch eBay adventures shopping spree, alternative pony sites, pony archival panel, my little mare blade panel for the Crown of Life. Is that going to be like Beyblades? Ah yes, you can click on these. Whoa, Wind of Magic. Yeah, it's Beyblades. Okay. Convention war stories. So, comedic. Okay. Everything you've always wanted to know about pony plushies but were afraid to ask. Wet brain. Yeah. Only Date? Is there not going to be anyone else? Anyway, wet brain's always a good time. Watching paint dry. Okay. Alright, ponies nostalgia. Oh shit, I thought this was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday. This is actually a whole load of other panels happening all at the same time. In different places. Oh, that means I'm gonna have to choose. Fuck. I don't want to choose. I want to see everything. Room unavailable. For what? Preparations for spaghetti tendy dinner? And this is going to be the time reserved for everyone to get shit-faced after the spaghetti and tendy dinner, I guess. And there's a numpkin. Of course there is. There's a Trixie one, there's a Rarity one, there's a Lyra. Eating AI shitposts with boys. A new episode script. Okay. ChatGPT last. Okay. It sounds like a fun thing. I don't. I think I'm just going to be too drunk to do any of these. Because I'm going to be drinking at the dinner. Ugh. Meritory control rider. Ugh. I mean, I'm going to utterly butcher my hexagon, but I will draw at least one thing. Okay. What do we got on Saturday? Very nice. You should definitely go and watch that one. How to run a pony cocktail bar. I think that's something I want to see. Oh, I want to do Merly Feud and I want to do cocktail. This is. I'm not even there yet, and I'm already getting stressed. Scheduling and seeing as much shit as possible. Room unavailable. So you're going to be setting shit up for the concert. Which means everything over here is probably going to be not seen because everyone's over here. Furries versus ponies roast. Okay. So is that just an hour where we can heckle a furry? Sounds fun. Anthology. There's another anthology, or is this a different thing? Because I've not seen any thread about any other anthology. Okay. TF2, maybe? I'm surprised you're not on this perk. Only Twyfag. Fallout Equestria, I don't think I really care about that. It's Stallion stable. Talk about the other half. Okay, let's just talk about Stallions. We can go and appreciate some pony posteriors. Sure. And the Ponyville Party Pack. 8 players will be playing Jackbox Party Packs. Oh, okay. It's just Jackbox. Okay. What are my body dimensions? you're getting yourself a custom t-shirt. What dimensions do you need? I mean, I don't think I could even tell you what any of my dimensions are off the top of my head. I can tell you I'm a medium in basically everything, if that helps. Sunday. Horse rescue, but also mare quest. Okay, so actually learning about the charity we're raising money for, but also mare quest. Military bronies. Charity auction, closing ceremonies, making of a mare fair. So this is just an hour set aside for the organisers to complain about everything they had to go through. You made us go through all of this, so we're going to take an hour of your life to tell you just how much of a pain in the ass it was. There are no plans to stream anything, but anyone could do it on their own. I mean, I might just stand my phone up in the corner of a room or something, and I mean, I like the when on the odd occasion where there was a new episode shown live at a convention where they just filmed the audience. I mean, I might be able to do that with my phone, I don't know. Like, the biggest size? Definitely not the biggest size for me, I'm not that fat. I mean, how do they measure shirts over in Canada land? So it looks like there's a lot of good stuff going on here. And it's going to be constant panels. Like, that's probably what we're going to be doing a lot of the time. I don't think there's going to be a single time where there isn't going to be at least one panel that I want to go to. So I'm just going to be zipping in between all of the little venues. So, Pup, can you tell me what the differences between these rooms are? We've got... I thought it was the main hall, not Mare events. Has that changed? Tracy Cage, Numgit Memorial Stadium there. How expensive is it to fly to Florida? One-stop flights from 12 cities, from Melbourne, from Brisbane, from Perth. Bloody hell. Is that return or one way? And I assume those are Aussie dollars, right? Look at return tickets. They're somewhat counterintuitively, they tend to actually be cheaper. So yeah, it's from... There's not going to be any fucking time for me to meet any of the bros, I guess. I mean, the most bros I'll be meeting will probably be the Spaghetti and Tendy dinner, which is a kind of scheduled social event. But everything else I'm going to be probably in a panel. I'm in two minds. One of my minds wants to plan and schedule everything, and the other just wants to go with the flow. And they're both at odds with each other, playing a little game of tug-of-war in my brain. What kind of shirts are you ordering, then, Pinkie? All still around 3K. Oh, you want me to send you a design? I don't fucking know. Right, what is Australian dollar to actual money? 3,000 Aussie dollars is 1,500 sterling. Thereabouts. Yeah. Man, they're really cucking you over there, aren't they? So, how many panels do you actually have per? None get Meritorious Control. What did your opponent? Nope. BCS, of course. 4 panels. I'm just trying to guess which ones are yours. Date's doing merely feud. Oh, you're doing an affiliate inspection. Where's an affiliate inspection? I don't think I saw that. This is. Is it? Oh yeah, and the TF2 one. I thought Philly inspections are happening right there on the gate. No idea why there's no ponygram supposed to do. Be the change you want to see. Mail there on Saturday. Oh, there. Okay. Oh, that's at the same time that I have to go shout at the furry. No, I'll probably skip that. Anon Philly plush horse soft toy. No, it's autism support tiny horse soft toy. And Anon's costumes. Will you dock me points if I show up in a blue suit instead of a black one? I mean, I'm bringing fucking 3 suits to this thing. I've got a normal black suit for normal events. I've got a black tuxedo specifically for the spaghetti tendy dinner, and I've got a blue suit for whenever I want to be identifiable as Clipper. Which will probably only be here. Leak the venue map. Okay. I mean, I have no idea. Like, truth be told, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I mean, I might flitter about all of the panels like a schizophrenic bee being distracted by all the flowers and whatnot. I might spend an entire day at the bar. I mean, I'm not going to be hiding or anything. You can come and find me. And you can attend Mayor Fair, whatever, with me if you want. Just... will I ever be wearing anything distinctive? My blue suit, probably? I mean, you'll definitely see me at this one. So if you don't find me at any time on Friday, you know, I'll definitely be here, but I'm not going to be hiding. Put it that way. but I'm also not going to be letting off flares and saying, "Hey, over here, bitches!" You know? No, I haven't been to B in a very, very long time. Like, occasionally, if I happen to be watching a big sporting event, I might go over to the sports board. Because there's usually a thread dedicated to whatever big event is going on. So, aside from occasional sports tourism, I am firmly rooted on /MLP. We need a giant sign for now saying clever. I mean, just go around anyone in an add-on costume and just say hello, and if a British voice asks back, then you know it's me. I would like to think that I probably have a fairly distinctive voice in this place, right? I'm anticipating like 90% Americans, 10% others. Right, anything else that I've missed? Naysayer needs your help finding the perfect gift for his girlfriend. Really? A real human? Oh dear. It's a shame was officially licensed. Okay, so this is just interesting merch, I guess. I mean, I kind of want to go to all three of these panels. Fuck. A little outdated. Okay. How outdated? Okay, everything's pretty close together, though. What's the Mayor Gallery in the Mayor there? It's not mentioned at all in here. Mayor Stage. Okay, so I'm going to assume that the layout of this room is just a whole load of rows of chairs with some kind of stage and screen at the side here. The Tracy cage? I don't know. I'm kind of imagining a whole bunch of tables and stuff interspersed about here, and then Numgit Memorial Stadium. It's going to be some kind of shit show. It's just going to be a haphazard mess of maybe some tables and chairs, maybe just nothing at all. Is that where the Meritory Control is happening? It's happening in the Mayor Lair. Oh, that's over here. The Mayor Lair looks pretty big, actually. And with the Mayor Gallery being a sectioned off bit of the Mayor Lair? I mean, the Mayor Lair looks almost as big as the Mayor Stage. The rooms in the red circle... The rooms in the red circle just need to be on the lower part. Oh, right, they need to be there. So is that an actual open room? Like there's no wall here? And the Mayor Gallery is a separate walled-off. A separate walled-off bit. Mayor Gallery is like a legit museum of fine pony art. Yeah, makes sense. Not enough space for 300 plus amounts. Basically, all the rooms are just rows of chairs facing the stage. Okay. How big are these rooms? I don't have a good reference. How many people are you going to try and cram into here for the opening ceremony? You gotta go. I'll probably end this stream fairly soon, actually. We're about halfway through the music. A little short of halfway. Yeah, this has been a tough one. Mayor Stage 300 to 350. And we're currently projecting, what, 500 odd attendees, I think? How's that gonna work? just yeah. I don't know, maybe you just have to stand at the back or something. Well, I guess that means it's important to get in there early on the day if you want to get in the opening ceremony. I mean, I imagine the opening and closing ceremonies will be when it's most packed. Tracy Cage is where the Tendy dinner is. Okay. How many for Tendy dinner? I forget. 100 odd? It might be... I think we're going to be strapped for space, actually. It's going to be... We're going to need a bigger venue next year. I mean, can we hijack any of these rooms down here for anything? Or just spill out into the hall? It's either going to be great or a huge shit show. Honestly, I think I agree with you. Though, I hope it isn't a shit show. Though with trying to organise 500 odd people in what looks to be a fairly small space. Well, small space relative to the number of people you're trying to cram in there. I mean, all 500 con attendees will probably fit in this area. But if everyone wants to go to the mayor stage for one particular thing, that's when you're going to have problems. So in theory, there's enough capacity, just so long as you don't have everyone rushing for one thing. More stuff outside. Yeah, I get that. I haven't actually researched the hotel at all, really. I don't know what facilities are there. I mean, I assume there's all the normal stuff, right? Gymnasium, that sort of stuff. Restaurant. There's a load of restaurants nearby, actually, though, so probably end up going out there. What are these massive things here? Are these rooms? And what's this? I'm interested to know what this is. Like, can we go and take that over? All the rooms are in separate buildings. Okay. Other event areas. You don't need other events. Not ones we've rented out. Let's quit a talk. The question is not who will let you, but who will stop you. Okay. Yeah, we might need the grayed out section next year. Soon we come back to the same venue. Okay. Alright, is there anything here that I haven't done? I would definitely hope not, Gotham. Don't even joke about that. Would hate for that. Hoof Rock Alive. Don't think I've read this one yet. People reviewing songs. That doesn't sound very interesting. And it's at the same time as dinner, so. No good ideas accepted, only bad ones. You ever wanted to get into writing fanfics but found yourself hesitating? A lack of ideas is what holds me back, rather than a lack of writing ability, I think. There's one happening in Orlando the weekend before. At the same hotel? We're going to have to wade through a mountain of diapers to get through to the hotel lobby? Or are we spared that? What's this? Oh, it's the same picture. What room is Mayor Events? It's in the Mayor stage. I mean, you could just deduce that. Tracy Cage, Memorial Stadium, Mayor there. Mayor stage is the only one left. Right, what else have I looked at? Horse words and new characters and motivation. We all know what writing is, we all know useful terms and definitions, but do we know how to make it real? From epic adventures to sci-fi but with ponies, they all focus on characters. Let's find out what makes it, yeah. Okay. Plushy meetup. Ah, I gotta go to this. Okay. Right. Okay. They're crypto bros. So this is Twyfag. Twyfag's a crypto bros. Yeah. He tried to talk about this at MareCon a year or two ago. And while I'm sure it was interesting to someone who actually cares about cryptocurrency, it was kind of the wrong sort of panel for that kind of event. Alright, see you later. Yeah. Don't think I care too much about that. Animation 101. Fair enough. And the Cult of Mare, yes. Harmony through health. So teaching you how to get fit for your You've been through all of those. Oh, there's another Mare quest. Oh, no. No, there's only one Mare quest. Okay. Agenda. Oh, okay, so this is just everything but in text form. Okay. Alright. I think I've seen everything I need to know. So I await the next Mare Fair thread so I can get excited with everyone else. Right, I'm going to end it for tonight, and hopefully we will finish the rest of the music tomorrow. I'll see ya, well, tomorrow. Bye.